98% of people spend their entire lives losing at a game they don't even know they're playing. Most likely you are one of them. And no, it's not for lack of effort, but rather for lack of understanding of the rules that govern everything you experience. Today, I'm going to reveal to you these 5 hidden rules that shape this game of life. Because as long as you believe your life depends on effort, luck, or external circumstances, you'll remain stuck in the same cycles. But when you understand the internal, mental, emotional, and energetic mechanisms at play, you become part of that 2% and turn into the only person in control of your own universe. Stay with me until the end, because the last part of this video, and I'll admit here that I left it for last on purpose, contains the key that separates those who create their own reality from those who are dragged along by it, because almost everyone fails to create the life they want. And how do those few 2% manage to manipulate the invisible game that exists behind the physical world? Before I get into the rules of the game of life, it's important to make it very clear here that reality is not what it seems. People believe that reality is what they can measure, touch, and explain. And that's exactly why they struggle so much and achieve so little. The physical world, supposedly physical, is not the origin, it never was. It is a reflection. And trying to change your life by only messing with the reflection is like trying to dry the floor while the pipe is still burst and leaking water. Reality is a mirror. And the mirror itself doesn't change first. The one who has to change is the person standing in front of it. As long as you don't accept that the game starts in the invisible, in the mental, in the emotional, you'll keep trying to fix the effects with the same internal causes that produce them. Want to see something interesting? Do you know why most people lose the game? Because most people live in battle mode. And what's worse is that people are even proud of it. I fight for my livelihood every day. I fight for love. I fight for respect. I fight for a chance to step into the sunlight. Maybe you've already heard someone say, or maybe someone has even said to you the following phrase: "Oh, João is a hardworking guy. He goes after what he wants. Maria is a warrior woman. She fights every day to provide for her family." But here's a truth that people don't like to hear. The more you see yourself as a warrior, as a fighter, the more battles life will throw your way. More resistance, more challenges, more exhaustion, and winning this game here becomes practically impossible. Life isn't a war, life is what? The game, and like every game, it has rules. If you keep insisting on wearing the armor of a soldier, a warrior, a fighter, you'll end up spending more time bleeding, agonizing on the battlefield than triumphing and winning the way you deserve. The problem isn't strength, it's perspective, it's point of view. Maybe you've already heard that saying, life isn't about strength, it's about skill. And that's exactly it. But what now? Let's move on to the first rule that's going to completely shatter everything you thought you knew. And rule number 1, let's start off with a bang right away. Reality is not physical. And this right here really challenges our sense of logic. But the fact is, logic by itself has never created anything on its own. The physical world is the last stage. It's practically the end of the line. Everything is born in the invisible. And only then at the final stage does it touch the ground of physical reality. But then people try to change their bodies, their bank statements, their relationships, their behavior, acting only at the level of action. And that's why they fail, because action by itself and in isolation is just the surface. What is the root? The mind, the emotions, and even further beyond, identity. Those who create reality don't start by acting, they start by becoming. Before someone becomes healthy on the outside, that person first had to become healthy on the inside. Before someone becomes wealthy, that person first had to become abundant internally. Before someone has peace, that person first became peace. And before I get into rule number 2, I want to make this mechanism very clear to explain this engineering that few people know about. And most likely, you have been consistently using this specific concept in the exact opposite way throughout your entire life, which is the fundamental psychological mechanism of the be-do-have model. The majority of people do the following. Initially, they focus on having. And then when they have sufficient money, they think, then I'll do the things I wanted to do, and then I'll be truly happy. But the correct order is first, I become rich, prosperous, and abundant within myself. I am rich, prosperous, and abundant. And then the doing will become something automatic. You will automatically transform. You will take actions like someone who is prosperous, who is abundant, and then having will automatically manifest in your life. This is the fundamental order of manifestation. You act consistently according to who you truly are. And that is exactly why you have seen countless cases of people who win massive fortunes in lottery prizes or receive large inheritances. And yet the person eventually loses it all because their internal identity remained unchanged. Simply loses everything overnight. If you constantly feel deeply impoverished, you will inevitably begin to lose your money. Things will happen in your life that will make you lose money. If you don't feel worthy of a healthy relationship, no matter how great the person you find is, eventually it will be destroyed, it will fall apart. Those who feel incapable will sabotage several opportunities that come up in their lives. If you feel unlucky, you will have more bad luck. You will repeat several tragedies in your life. Write this down, please. Please carefully write down this next important sentence. It is not simply what you do in your life, but rather it is truly about who you are as a person while you are doing it. On this rule number 2, I'm going to blow your mind with this one. You make the rules of the game. It is essential for you to fully understand this fundamental principle. Everything that you choose to treat as an absolute truth will inevitably transform into your personal reality. The subconscious mind does not engage in any form of argument or debate with you. Instead, it unconditionally accepts your thoughts and it reorganizes the circumstances of your entire life, just to consistently confirm your deepest inner beliefs. If you believe that money is hard to get, in your reality, money will be hard to get. If you believe that no man is any good, that all women are only interested in money, that's exactly what you'll attract into your life. If you believe that relationships hurt you, you'll only attract relationships that hurt you. If you believe that opportunities never come your way, you won't be able to see any opportunities, not even the ones that are right in front of your eyes. Beliefs are filters, and I want you once again to write down this phrase here. You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. Examine your beliefs, write down on paper what your beliefs are. When it comes to money, what do you think about money? When it comes to relationships, what do you think about relationships? When it comes to yourself, who do you believe you are? Your identity, I'm João, I'm this or that. Write this down on paper, because if you map out these beliefs and if you change these beliefs, since beliefs are just choices, from the moment you identify a belief, you can choose the opposite, have another opposing belief. It's liberating because if you change your belief, the rule will change. Reality will organize itself to match your belief. You don't have to take my word for it. Try it out in practice and see what happens. And moving on to rule number 3, I want to keep blowing your mind. I want to keep expanding your awareness, broadening your perception. Anything that is a need, you push away. And this really gets to people. This is really irritating, okay? Because the more you need something, the further away that thing will get from you. This is inevitable. This is one of the most powerful rules there is. Neediness creates a weight on things, and that weight creates tension. And consequently, tension creates a blockage. The energy of I need this tells the universe the following: I don't have this. And reality gives you exactly that in return. Lack. Attraction doesn't come from lack. Attraction is born when you take your desire off the pedestal. You cut down its importance. You stop emotionally dragging yourself after it. And when you, in quotes, don't need it anymore, life gives it to you. And here in this rule number 4 is where most people stumble here, because this is where real firmness and commitment are required. Rule number 4, the strongest frequency always wins. One thing is certain. It's not the one who wants it more who wins. It's the one who can sustain it longer. Because when you hear people talk about conviction in yourself, about yourself, we're not saying this just because it sounds like a motivational phrase, but the truth is, it's much more than that. Conviction is aligned identity. It's when your mind, your emotions, and your imagination are all pointing in the same direction, even when everything around you all the time keeps making you doubt. And this is the boundary that 98% of people never cross. And this is where the difference lies between those who actually manifest and those who just keep dreaming, only dreaming. Pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you now. Your frequency needs to be stronger than your bank account balance. It needs to be stronger than other people's opinions. It needs to be stronger than fear. It needs to be stronger than uncertainty, stronger than what your logic keeps telling you. You need to maintain a frequency that is stronger than all of that. Because if you just stay in that feel-good vibe only when everything is going well, vibrating in quotes like, oh, I'm vibrating high, and suddenly a bill shows up for you to pay, you just freak out. Why? Which frequency is going to win? The strongest one? The freak out will win, so you'll keep attracting more things into your life that make you keep freaking out. And now the last rule, which I purposely saved for last, this one really hurts. It seems that everyone has already observed this, but no one is willing to openly admit it. In reality, being good doesn't pay off. And this is bitter as hell. Because this idea that reality follows some kind of morality is just something we made up, a belief of ours. Because reality doesn't respond. It doesn't respond to human morality. On the most subtle level, it doesn't respond. Human morality doesn't exist. Reality obeys solely and exclusively to identity. And that's why so often people who are considered good, in quotes, end up suffering a lot because many times they're fragile on the inside. They spend all their time doubting themselves, constantly belittling themselves, always asking for permission, even just to exist. They spend all their time feeling guilty for various things they've done or haven't done. They end up feeling guilty, often just for wanting a better life. Meanwhile, people considered bad take off in their lives because they don't ask permission for everything, they don't apologize for existing, and they don't keep doubting their own abilities. I want you to get this into your head. It's not about being good. It's about being aligned with the identity that manifests the reality you want to live. You can only have what you believe you are capable of sustaining. If you understood these rules here, you've moved beyond the surface. You're already on your way to becoming part of that 2% I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The external world is a consequence. It always has been. Your deep-seated internal identity and core essence is the code that hacks, in quotes, this game. And you can meticulously rewrite and restructure this underlying code to hack the game exactly as you might desire or please. But absolutely nothing in the world changes until you finally decide to change. And from the moment you change, the entire structure of the cosmos will simply realign itself to mold to your identity.